and welcome to this week's Extreme Set Mind Business Series with amazing Mr. Lee Tannyware flying in from Ireland on the Zoom screen here. Of course, myself dragging myself up from the back here, making sure I try and keep up with the old Tannyware and his amazing high-level philosophies. And here we are. This week is a bit of a theme. Now, I've got two kind of quotes coming in, which is, first of all, how to prepare your business self for 2025.
Oh, very good.
The most important self assets. Remember, I said this, self assets to springboard your 2025. Now, when I say self assets, we're not talking about, the product, the service, yourself. First of all, what did 24 get out of you? Know what you get out of it. And what adjustments, what divorces, what are you going to keep hold of in yourself? Let's look at this and think, okay, what is a self-asset?
Self-asset, I think the biggest self-asset is so many layers to this one. Biggest self-asset is your ability to adapt. Yeah, because too many people, when they get stuck, it's just the failure to adapt.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and awareness on that is that sometimes things don't go our way, which is most times, probably 98% of the time we're getting it wrong. But if we can adapt quickly, it's not a failure, it's an update.
Oh.
And that's the problem. But if we keep persisting, thinking that willpower. And you got a rock coming at you, so let's say like Indiana Jones, and you go there, I'll visualize the rock, it's over there, it's over there, yeah, and it rolls right over you. And like, so I think this, bear in mind it's a thought in my mind, but when I say it, it's going to be words in the real world or the virtual world. They're just words, they don't mean nothing. Yeah, but this could be a trigger for most. Yeah, the affirmation is the visualizations, loving thyself and trusting thyself way of doing things are dead. They're dead. And if you want to medicate yourself with them, have the awareness that you are medicating yourself with them. Yeah. If you need the ability, if you feel like you have to love yourself, that's an awareness that you need to be loved.
Oh, wow.
If you have to give yourself affirmations, then you most likely either showing up in a way that others have judged you incorrectly or correctly, and you don't like validation or realization, whichever one it is. It's either validation. So it's a bit like we're all living in a mirage in some ways. So if you want to make, like you said, what did 24 get out of you? Yeah. In many cases, I think it should be, and this might sound like I'm correcting you, Paul, but in my head, I'm just communicating what's in my head. What did 24 take out of you?
Oh, wow, that's more like it.
Yeah, and the problem is, and that's what's happening in most, and because if it's taken from you, the asset is being attacked mentally, emotionally, physically, yeah, and if the asset is being attacked, yeah, if you're like a workhorse and that's how you see yourself, then if you're not looking after the asset, if it was a horse, yeah, the RSPCA will be round your house. Yeah, you need to have a chat with your internal HR if you want to do anything.
What? Yeah. Listen, let me just jump in because you just said something so profound there, which is not what did 24 take out of you? How is your asset being attacked? That is just huge in my heart. I get that.
Well, that's the problem. See, to get to the end of the year and then. And I've been there, so I'm not saying we get to the end of the year. So this is why adaptability is the most profound skill in entrepreneurship, in my opinion.
Wow.
You get to the end of the year, which ain't far away. It's only a few weeks away. And then we've got the last day of 2024 to the cups of 2025. And we're sitting down, we're reflecting. And then there's a bit of guilt, bit of shame. It didn't go well. And next year is going to be really different. We go into the hope. We go into sort of that I suppose, positive attitude. Yeah. And it's hope means, for a hope to exist in the first place, or for you to convince yourself that things are going to get better, things are already bad. and have that realised that things are already bad. And the reason things are already bad, because when things showed up and they didn't go your way, yeah, the universe or the world will not adapt to you. Don't matter how strong you are, doesn't matter how, what it adapts to is credibility. What it adapts to is success. Yeah, but the problem is when you have no value, people will not see your value. When you have no value, people will not see your value. So when they thought up the idea of a Rolls Royce, people weren't queuing up to buy it because it was an idea. If they'd stayed on the drawing board overthinking, over brainstorming, over feeling, over imagining, it would never be a Rolls Royce. Now people that can afford a Rolls Royce, Rolls Royce is one of the top brands in the world, you know. But the people that can afford that brand come to it. Now, you may want to be a Rolls Royce, but you may be a Lada. Now, for the people that don't know a Lada, they're that rare nowadays, so I don't even think they make them. Lada or Skoda in the old days, before Skoda is now, but go to Lada, is they were good for one thing, keeping your hands warm, because the rear window heater always worked, and you could put your hands on the window to heat your hands up. Yeah. Some people are that determined that they're a Lada, but they want to pretend they're a Rolls Royce. Yeah. To be a Rolls Royce, you need to have good communication skills, good presentation skills, good multi-sensory abilities to showcase the future, because people are always buying the future. They're not buying a product. Yeah, you think they are. They're never buying a service. They're never buying a product. What they're doing is buying the future. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, different. And when they're buying the future, they're not actually buying the future, all of it. They're buying a moment in time called the present in the future, where that problem doesn't exist. So if it's an unblocked drain, you buy the stuff to clear the drain. What's the future you want? An unblocked drain. Yeah. So so if it's a drain cleaner, your problem is you've got a blocked drain. Now you can sit and have a firm, and you can imagine the drain clear, and you can do all what you want, but the drain will stay blocked unless you get in and start prodding about with a bit of an action. Now you've done everything you can do. How adaptable are you? Yeah, my drain's blocked. Is it going to stay blocked? I'll translate that for you. I'm stuck. What do? Well, you call a plumber. Yeah. I mean, when you got a ghost, you call Ghostbusters. When you got a problem you can't solve, you call somebody that can solve it, a consultant, a coach, or somebody that's already a few steps ahead of you, yeah, as a mentor, yeah, because a mentor is somebody that's been and travelled the road and knows all. Oh, you've tried this, yeah, done that, plunged it, yeah. Yeah, try some Mr. Muscle Drain Cleaner, put that down. It's got caustic soda in it. What you want to do is not run the tap, tip it down to the trap fills, yeah, and leave it there. Most likely got a bit of build-up of hair and grease in the trap, yeah. How can I ensure? Oh, brilliantly, it's clear, brilliant. How can I ensure it doesn't happen again? That's the magic in business. How do I ensure that it doesn't? Now, insurance is normally heard this way. Yeah, if I break my leg, am I insured? Will I get paid? Yeah, that ain't the insurance. It's not insurance. It's assurance. How do you ensure? My diction isn't the best. Ensure it will never happen again, because that's success.
Let me come in there, because this is just
last bit on that before you come in there. Because too many people are adapting to the same problem every time, which means they never solve the problem. They just solve the consequence of the problem. Wow. Back to you, sir.
Wow. I mean, I love it again. You know, what did 24 take out of you? But I have one question. We got about a minute and a half here. Is there a difference in adaptability and resilience?
Well, yes. Resilience is when you haven't adapted and you get pushing.
That makes so much sense.
Now, do we need resilience? Do we need that grit? Because sometimes life shows up, smacks you in the face, and it takes the wind out of you, and it feels like a tsunami or the worst storm ever. And that's where resilience come in. And resilience, I would translate it, because I think it, in my opinion, it's the wrong word explaining the outcome we want. It's the wrong word. Commitment. Resilience is the ability to hold something, yeah, and to keep doing it. But adaptability, the resilience to adapt. So you're trying to get through a wall, yeah, and all you got's your fists, and you bang, 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 you've done all you know was to break yourself, you damage the asset. You're supposed to get a tool. Now, you can do it with a chisel, you can do it with a spoon. Clint Eastwood did an Escape from Alcatraz, dug his way out, and obviously, with a teaspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you need is a Kango, to get the wall down. But nobody ever asks themselves why the wall there in the first place. Why is the wall there in the first place? And if you're the boss of you, you breathe for you, you think for you, this is your life, and you've done all the decision making, you put the bloody wall there.
That makes so much sense.
And the reason we put the wall there was to have the validation from the resilience to validate ourselves and go, I had this struggle and I won. Don't put struggles in your plate, in your way to have success. Success is not getting a medal because you overcame.
Wow. Success
is that you didn't have to overcome in the first place.
I love it. And there it is. There it is. How you bounce into 25 with Lee Tenneyware's philosophies. Look out for him. You'll see him on LinkedIn. And listen, you want to get into his groups. He's not cheap, and so he shouldn't be. But this man, you want to reach into him and see that little modesty smile then. You know what? This man is just absolutely amazing. I've loved all the series we have. We've got a couple more coming in. We've got big plans for 25, but I got to get things stabilized. It's beautiful. Lee, thank you so much again. And boom! Bye for now.
Take care, my friends.